Lesson 4. A Girl and Her Peacock Fans. Once upon a time, there lived a rich merchant who had 7 daughters. He was very arrogant about his wealth and lost no opportunity to show it off. One day, lacking an audience, he called his 7 daughters and asked them, "Whose fortune keeps you alive and happy?" 6 daughters replied, "Yours, Papa." But the youngest was willful, and she said, "I am alive and happy because of my own good fortune." "Very well," said her angry father. "Let me see how far your good fortune carries you, miss." He called his palanquin bearers and sent her away to the dense forest. He allowed her to take only her box of swing needles and thread and an old nurse who had been with her since she was born. The 2 women were set down at sunset at the foot of a gigantic teak tree. The palanquin bearers saluted them and left. The teak tree looked down at the little 14-year-old girl crying with fear. "Unhappy girl," it said, "soon the wild beasts of the jungle will come out and eat you up." But as it spoke, the girl looked so piteous that its heart softened. "All right, don't cry. I will help you. I will open my trunk and both of you can hide in it." The teak split its trunk and the girl and her nurse climbed into the hollow. The tree closed back into its natural shape. The wild beasts came out at night, prowling round the jungle. They smelt humans. "We know you are hiding humans within you." They howled at the teak tree. They dashed against the tree, clawed its bark into shreds, broke its branches and scattered its leaves. But the tree would not surrender the fugitives, even though blood ran from its pierced bark. As dawn broke, the wild beasts returned to their lairs. The exhausted tree split open and the 2 women came out. They saw the gaping wounds of the tree. "Good tree," said the girl, and embraced it. "You have given us shelter at a heavy cost. We are grateful." She went to the banks of a nearby river and brought back fistfuls of mud which she smeared on the open gashes of the trunk. The tree felt better. "But you must be hungry," it said to the girl. She nodded. "Give your nurse whatever money you have and let her go to the city and buy some khai, roasted rice." The girl took out a few needles and some golden thread from her sewing box and gave them to her nurse to sell in the city. The nurse came back with a small sackful of khai. "Eat only half of this," commanded the teak tree. "Sprinkle the rest on the bank of the river." The women did as they were told, even though they did not understand why, and then they climbed back inside the tree trunk to sleep. Flocks of peacocks always came to the river at night. When the birds saw the khai, they went mad with delight and struggled and pushed one another to pick each delicious piece of rice off the ground. In the jostling, many of their tail feathers fell off. When morning came and the women emerged from the trunk, the tree told them, "Go to the river bank and gather the peacock plumes that you see lying there. Stitch these plumes together into a fan for the king of the city." The girls sewed the plumes together and the nurse took the fan to the city palace. The king's son saw the fan, liked it, and immediately bought it. "Did you make it?" he asked the nurse. "No," she answered. "My little mistress is extremely skillful with her needle and she made it." With the money that the prince had given her, the nurse bought some more khai and again half of it was eaten and half strewn on the bank of the river. Every night the peacocks came, and every morning the little girl had enough feathers for a fan. The nurse took the fans to the palace, where they had become very popular with the prince's friends, and sold them to the court. Every time she met the prince, he questioned her about her mistress. "Won't she come to sell them herself?" he asked. "Oh no, sir," answered the shocked nurse. "My mistress is extremely well born. She would never come to the market." With the money that the fans brought, the girl made a little house near the teak tree. She lived there with her nurse. Meanwhile, the prince grew more and more curious about the dexterous seamstress, and one day he followed the nurse back from the city and saw the girl. She had grown slender and beautiful. He decided to marry her. The king, the prince, and the courtiers came to the forest, for the girl refused to be married anywhere else. The ceremony was held before the teak tree, which was decorated with garlands for the occasion. The bride and groom poured milk at its roots. The merchant and his daughters attended the wedding too, and all thanked the teak tree for its wisdom and